like to welcome you here this morning to this wonderful event on a big day in our country's history. We like the purpose of us here. Well, let me say who I am. I'm Pete Linzen with Refugee Support Network. On this day, we want to recognize and celebrate the contributions that our immigrant families are making in our community and find ways to help them succeed. That's our goal. That's why we're here. I suspect many of us here today come from immigrant families who came to our country in years past, maybe 2, 3, 4 generations ago. While all major faith groups have sacred passages that talk about welcoming the stranger, our focus today is on recognizing how these new families provide real benefits to our community. It isn't just about feeling sorry for them. It's because they make our country great in many different ways. So first we'll have comments from our new mayor, Carrie Thompson, and then we'll have brief introductions from 4 agencies who are directly involved supporting refugees, and then we have representatives from many different faith communities who have been involved. Each of you will have a chance to come up. We'll come along this line here and give a 4-minute spiel as to what your organization does, what your mission is, okay? We'll try to limit it to 4 minutes. So, and then the second hour, we will have some breakout sessions, and so you will have 15 minutes, 3 different sessions, and I'll be doing the clock here, to where you can go to one of these 4 agencies. Exodus in the corner. We have 2 different immigration lawyers, 3 different immigration lawyers. We have, Joe from Bunger Robinson. We have Christy from Pop Bowman, and we have another lady from Exodus. El Centro, our Hispanic support organization, and RSN. So these tabling events will you have an opportunity to go to there. In the center is some tables where the different communities can talk among themselves as well. So first, we want to say thank you for Carrie Thompson for coming and providing us, contributing to us this morning.
Thank you, Pat. And I see some other elected officials here, Isabel Piedmont-Smith, Courtney Daly, and newly elected Liz Feidel. Am I missing anyone? Okay, so I'm very glad to be here, and mostly today just want to say thank you to all of you for the incredibly important work that you're doing in our community. This gathering today is especially important as we think as a community about how we are going to continue to welcome neighbors to our community who were not born here. Today, as we honor the life and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we're reminded of his tireless pursuit of justice, of equality, and of belonging for all. It is also a day that invites us to take action in service to those ideals and to reflect on how we can work together to create a stronger, more inclusive community. Belonging is a simple idea, but it's not always easy to create. It requires more than opening our doors. It asks us to open our hearts, to open our minds, to recognize the humanity in others, even when their stories differ from our own, and even when the resources that are needed seem scarce. Bloomington has long been a place that strives to live out these ideals. We're a community of many backgrounds, journeys, and dreams. And as we talk about immigration and support for our neighbors, we're reminded that the strength of a community lies in its ability to hold space for everyone, to build bridges, not barriers, to look at people for the assets that they bring to our community, not the needs that must be filled. No matter how you arrived here, no matter where you were born, I want you to know that you are seen, you are valued, and you are a vital part of the fabric of Bloomington. We are proud to call you our neighbors. You belong. The path you walk is often filled with uncertainty and challenges that many of us cannot fully understand. But you don't walk it alone. This city is committed to supporting you, to standing alongside you, and ensuring that you feel safe, and to ensuring that to the best of our ability, you feel a sense of belonging. Whether you've come here seeking safety, opportunity, or a better future for your family, we honor your journey and the sacrifices you've made to become a member of our community. Dr. King said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." This sentiment is especially important as we think about immigration. Fear and division may be loud, but love and compassion are always stronger. This morning, I spent some time rereading a letter from the Birmingham jail. In it, Dr. King outlines the differences between just and unjust laws, an important distinction. He also speaks to the value of organization, the need for more than individual goodwill. In his words, he said, "Individuals may see the moral light and voluntarily give up their unjust positions, but groups tend to be more immoral than individuals. Indeed, groups can also bind together their collective goodness to work together for love." Your work, our work together, is to create not just individuals who have seen a moral light, but organizations that spend their time in actions toward a more just society. We know that immigration policies can be complex and sometimes feel overwhelming, but policies do not define our humanity. Our actions do. And today is about action. We are gathering here to strengthen our connection and care. The work done as local advocates and organizations, from Exodus to El Centro, from immigration lawyers to faith communities, embodies the very best of what it means to serve. Together, your agencies provide lifelines, resources, and most importantly, hope to individuals and families navigating the complexities of immigration. As policies and systems may change, and we have been promised that they will, our shared responsibility does not. Together, we will keep writing a story of belonging, a story that says you are welcome here and you are a part of us. Let us keep building that story with love and with solidarity. I encourage everyone here today to step into these conversations with curiosity and courage. Share your wisdom, listen deeply, and keep asking how we can do better together. There are difficult days ahead, and our commitment to act with compassion, with creativity, and kindness here in Bloomington must remain unwavering. Your work, your kindness, and your belief in the power of connection remind us all the importance of belonging. Our community is stronger and more vibrant because of the dedication in this room. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for serving all in our community.
Thank you, Mayor Thompson, for those inspiring words. I think, it touched a lot of our hearts. Now we will introduce our primary refugee and immigrant support agencies. And again, each one will have about 4 minutes to introduce themselves. We'll come up along this line here and speak from the podium. After that, we'll have the faith communities come up and talk about their work for about 4 minutes. And after that, we will have breakout sessions. So first, no, I'm going to mention that in So Refugee Support Network, I'm Pete Linson with Refugee Support Network. It was founded in 2016, become a 501c3 in 2017. This all-volunteer group includes a board and about 20 volunteers. We were initially focusing on families who arrived in our community seeking asylum. Over the past few years, we've been asked to additionally support a more diverse group of recently arrived families, including refugees and those with other visa programs. We typically support about 30 families a year. A large focus is on helping women with small children who typically have a more difficult transition into their community. That's our big focus. In an effort to promote better understanding of RSN with the surrounding community, David Meyer, an RSN board member, has led efforts to revitalize our internet and our community communication efforts. He has some comments to share.
Thank you, Pete. As a network of individuals and groups of volunteers, we are most effective when we work together. I see great potential in this room. Coordination, sharing of good practices, and effective social service execution all benefit our immigrant friends. This is easier when we have the necessary technical infrastructure to do this. This last week, RSN released a website to help provide this needed capacity. The site, bloomingtonrefugees.org, is translated into Arabic, English, Kurdish, Persian, Somali, Spanish, Swahili, Ukrainian, using the touch of a button embedded in each page of the website. Our hope is this website will become the community's immigrant touchstone and a clearinghouse for assistance of displaced immigrants in our community. Please visit the site and participate as it grows to serve both volunteers and displaced immigrants in our community over the coming weeks and months. When you visit the website, you will see and be able to read stories of local displaced immigrants and their challenges and their successes here in the community. You'll be able to follow a reading list of information about migration, global migration, and the differences between migrants, asylum seekers, refugees, and the like. You'll also be able to read news stories in Indiana and our local community about what's happening in the refugee and displaced immigrant community. And it is our hope that this will become very much a clearinghouse of information that will help us move forward to support our immigrant friends here locally. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel Van Tile, Director of Legal Services at Exodus Refugee Immigration. I'm the other lawyer that he was talking about. So, I am so happy to be here today. I'm here with my colleagues Alyssa and Sarah in the back of the room. Exodus was founded in 1981. Yes. Ooh, I'm about to get loud on you. I taught at the law school in Indianapolis, so I'm about to scream in my professor voice, so sorry. Okay, so we were founded in 1981 in Indianapolis, founded in part due to the Mariel Cubans that came. So we are well versed in this kind of mass exodus of folks. We offer many services, legal being one of them. We offer resettlement services where we help put people in apartments. We offer mental health counseling, English classes, and then we also offer like employment counseling, things like that. So we're really trying to support the whole person, which is one of my favorite parts about working at Exodus, is that I can help them with their legal issue, but I've got other people that are going to come alongside them and work in various other capacities. We were welcoming people last week up until Friday night. We don't have anybody that we think is going to come this week, but our fingers are crossed that we will still see some people come. But very likely that today or tomorrow they will put some sort of limit on the number of refugees that arrive. I don't know if the mic is working because I'm screaming, which is fine. Our Bloomington office is fairly new, but they're doing a great job, and we're welcoming many refugees here to the Bloomington community as well. I think that that's all I have today, but for you. We do have some of these t-shirts and some signs in the back if you guys are interested in supporting us that way. The other thing I will mention, I don't know if this is really what I'm supposed to talk about, but we have a lot of bad bills in the State House as well that have been introduced. So to the extent that you can, no, it's okay.
The microphone is for public access TV. Sorry, we didn't.
Oh, well, okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
No, it doesn't amplify in here.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Try again. All right. So there are a lot of bad bills in the State House that have been introduced. So to the extent you can contact your senators and representatives in the State House, that's a good thing. The more that we have to debate on something, the longer it takes them to vote, and they have to vote on bills and get them passed by April. So the more public engagement we get on many things, including even federal laws, that's a good thing for us. Exodus has just started an advocacy newsletter, so if you're interested, you can sign up with us and we'll send you kind of updates on that. So we're very excited to be here. I'll be in the back if you'd like to speak to me. Thank you. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry about the microphone issues here.
The microphone
The
is
microphone's
not
only for cats, so
amplified.
if we want to use a separate one, we gotta have
It's
a
just for
separate
the
system.
recording. There's not a way to amplify the mic.
Yeah, you have to have a separate system.
Well, other than doing it through the podium, I can't put another one on.
That's all right. We'll just have it on. But that's on this, so it doesn't trip.
So, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm short, as you can see, and I don't project well. So can you hear me in the very back? Okay, here we go. But I have to be close to the microphone. Do I have to? For caps, I have to. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna scream. So my name is Sandy Britton. I'm a board member of the El Centro Comunal Latino, and I'm here with the rest of you because we have a common interest, which is helping the Latino population, the refugees in general, with whatever services we can. We have been in existence since 2000, and mostly because we got, it was started by a group who felt that there needed to be some support for especially for us. It was the Latino population, and that's how we got started and started to kind of form a board, and things sort of took off after that. And we are really happy that we were able to offer that assistance to our clients because they really do need it. I would like to echo some of the mayor's words because much of what she said is also part of our mission. We really felt that we needed to be there, present, to help the community integrate with the greater community in Bloomington, but also because these are individuals who come here wanting to work, wanting to be, to integrate, wanting to make friends, wanting to be part of our lives. And so we felt that we really needed to be there for them. And so what we mostly do is we try to hook them up with the services in the community, and we try to be there for anything else they need that we can help with. We are a nonprofit, of course, and our funding is very tight, but we do what we can. So we will be in that table over there. And so any questions that you have, we also can use volunteers, and we're there for whatever. So thank you very much. I think it's really nice to see this group of people here together, and that there is an interest in this, the services that we can all provide. Thank you very much.
I'm going to time myself. So I'm Christy Pop. I am an attorney with Pop and Bowman, Attorneys at Law, and I'm also a board member of Exodus Refugee, former board member of El Centro Comunal. I just need to get Refugee Support Network, and I'll have the full suite. I have been practicing for about 20 years, almost 20 years, and 18 of those have been almost exclusively immigration, here in Bloomington primarily. And most of my work is dealing with humanitarian immigration issues and family-based immigration issues. So I'm happy to answer any questions about that. So that would be asylum, those sorts of things. I want to reiterate what Rachel said up here. I think we all know that starting tonight is going to be a bit of a disaster for immigration across the country. Like, there's no question that horrible things are going to happen. And I imagine many of you are feeling a bit powerless, like I am. Many of you are going to have questions, and I'm going to have no answers because we don't know what is to come. We can only suspect. But when I've been thinking about how to be inspired about this, what we're doing, I think back to a few years ago during the previous Trump administration, and many of you joined me on my mission to get ICE out of our jail, and we succeeded. Todd Rokita is suing us for that, but we succeeded. It took a long time. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of presentations. It took a lot of suing the sheriff. It took a lot of things, but we got it done. And what I'm trying to take from that is that looking at our community is probably where we can be most powerful. And I don't mean Bloomington because it's great here. I mean our community of Indiana. And as Rachel said, the State House there have been, I think, 6 or 7, maybe 8 horrible bills introduced last week, including making being present in Indiana without status a Class A misdemeanor, making it a Class A misdemeanor if you are present in the state of Indiana and do not go to your local law enforcement to report yourself, telling schools that they cannot enroll undocumented students and making the schools report on who is undocumented in the classroom, plus a host of other things, right? We have a constitutional right to an education, whether you're undocumented or not. So the state, they're trying to challenge that law, just like they did with abortion before. The state is also, with in Arizona v. United States, the Supreme Court said that states can't do immigration work. So Indiana's trying to challenge that. So these are things that we can work on together here to make a difference. What we're going to do federally, I don't know, but that's all I wanted to say. So I'll be in the back if you have more questions. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Joe Fuchetto. Like Christy, I'm an immigration attorney. I'm at Bunger and Robertson. And we do some of the things the same. Christy and I, we both do some family practice in immigration, but I predominantly do employment and talent-based immigration. So if you ever had a foreign doctor, they may be my handiwork. So I do normally represent entities, corporations, universities, companies, and help to get talented, skilled immigrants to the U.S. But I've also been on the board of Bloomington Refugee Support Network, and I've supported some other programs pro bono. I will echo essentially everything that Christy has to say. It's going to be a challenging next 4 years. And the best thing that we can probably focus on is locally what change we can make, especially at the Indiana State House. The laws that are coming out are just appalling, or the bills. At this point, I'm a lifelong Hoosier. I know what Hoosiers are about, and it's not about hurting or punching down. So would echo all those same thoughts, and thank you for inviting me, Pete.
Now we'd like to hear from the different community groups that came, civic groups, churches, faith communities. Please come up. You can kind of come up on a line here and give you a little spiel as to what your activities have been. You know, try to limit it to 4 minutes. Who wants to start? Dave, why don't you start with Rotary, since you're here first. So please come up here. And this doesn't have to be a super polished speech.
Hi. Hi, I'm Dave Meyer. I wear 3 hats in the community. Board member of the RSN, the sponsor of this event. but I also wear the hat of co-lead of the Immigrant Support Program at Bloomington Rotary Club. Bloomington Rotary Club has sponsored an Afghan family that came through Exodus Immigration, and we are also in the process of trying to sponsor another Afghan who is internationally displaced in a third country, trying to get him to the United States because he needs to be resettled. He spent 10 years in a refugee camp in Indonesia, and so we're trying to get him to the United States, and we've raised our own money in order to sponsor him and help him become established in the community. And so there's grave doubt on whether this individual will actually make it to the United States, depending on what actually happens in Washington today and in the next few days. So Rotary is very actively engaged and very supportive of this. This is part of our community services wing, which is led by Sarah. Sarah, would you raise your hand? Sarah Laughlin, former chief of the library here that you're sitting in today. Okay, I will switch hats quickly, and I'll also say that I am the co-lead of another refugee support group or displaced immigrant group, and that is First United Church. You may know it as the church that's located behind IU Credit Union on East 3rd Street. We started in 2000, about 6 months after the fall of Kabul, supporting a Afghan family, that one of the first families to come to Bloomington after the fall of Kabul in Afghanistan through Exodus refugee immigration. And then we sponsored another family, a family from Honduras, and then a family from, unofficially sponsored a family from Nicaragua, and most recently we are unofficially sponsoring a family from Syria that came through Exodus. So it's a very small group of committed volunteers in the church, but we view that our mission of supporting people who are oppressed in our community. We have had a very active program in LGBTQ support, where we hang in our front windows the rainbow flag. We now also hang in our front windows the international refugee flag. For those of you who don't know it, it's orange with a black stripe down through it, which is intended to represent those life jackets that so many refugees wear as they cross the Mediterranean or other oceans in order to try to escape oppression, poverty, and seek freedom. So that is what I have to say. We hope to continue to support people in our community. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brad Pontius. I am the Global Engagement Pastor at Sherwood Oaks Christian Church. We have several different initiatives that touch the lives of immigrants, and including international students who are not immigrants, but they are here for quite some time and add a lot to our community. The first is Iglesia Hispana, which is a church that we began 10 years ago. And over the time, I'm sure we've served at least 500 different Hispanic families who have come. I've learned recently at a conference that our church is an immigrant church, because in many places that have Spanish-speaking congregations, there are people who've been here a long time, who second, third generation, and just prefer to worship and relate to each other in Spanish. However, a large majority of our congregation, which is about 100 per week, double that because many people work and they just can't make it out, but we have that kind of contact with that many families, many coming from Venezuela, from Colombia. We will see 10 to 12 different nations each week. And it's funny, I always joke that the Venezuelans are trying to get away from their country, and the Colombians are trying to get away from the Venezuelans. And everybody laughs, and we all enjoy each other. A fun reality that we've seen in our English church, which is, I don't know, up to maybe 12 to 1,500 people. When service is over, they're gone. And about an hour to 2 hours later, our Hispanic congregation is still milling around the parking lot, hugging and kissing each other. So we demonstrate in many ways the kind of community that we want to reinforce. We also have special groups for men, special groups for women, study groups, youth groups. And recently we have established a fund that we use to help with legal fees, with housing, with transportation, all of those things that challenge people when they first arrive, and many times that they haven't really thought much about. They're just trying to get here, and then as soon as they're here, there's so many challenges for them. So we have opportunity every week, almost every day, to deal with some of those issues with them and to show them some love and show them some, to include them in what's happening here in our community. We have a pastor, Sergio Lema, who's in the back. He's from Bolivia and understands the process that everyone's going through. And Norma Landgraf, who's right up front here, she has responsibility of our Hispanic community outreach, which puts us in contact with most of the agencies in town. I'm on a personal campaign to try and find good bilingual translators for every agency in the community because we need them. I think high school students would be good at that, the ones who are bilingual, which there are many who don't really have much purpose yet defined in their lives. That's just a little sideline there. And we also have worked with Genesis and with Pete. We have a clothing closet that is overflowing with clothing that we have people, again, several times a week. Families will come in and load up their bags, and then other families will come in and offload their bags of clothing, which has been a delight for us. Lastly, each year for now 20 years, we have done something we call the International Furniture Giveaway, where we collect about 2,000 pieces of furniture each summer. And in August, as international, mostly graduate students are arriving, not understanding what unfurnished really means, no shower curtains, nothing. And each year we serve about 500 international students who are arriving at the airport. We'll give them rides, establish a relationship, and then deliver furniture, mostly furnish the unfurnished apartments for those students through the generosity of many people in the community who are changing out furniture. IU, who has also called us numerous times with dormitory switch-outs or different fraternities or sororities who are saying, hey, we've got 25 desks, do you want them? We always say yes. Heavy, very labor-intensive, but always worth it in the end to provide a way to say to the students, we appreciate you, you're courageous to come here, but you add so much to our community just by being here. So we have a lot of opportunity there. For me, all of this is the lifeblood of our church and of our commitments to bless the community in any way we can. Not just our local community, but the larger community best we can. So thank you.
My name is Ann Schechter. I apologize for the mask. I have surgery coming up soon, and I'm just trying really hard not to get sick. Dr. David Burkhart and I represent First Presbyterian Church here today. Our church has a very long history of sponsoring refugee families, beginning with a Hungarian family back in the 50s. And about 3 years ago, we sponsored 2 groups of refugees in cooperation with Exodus. One was a family from Syria, and the other was 2 fellows from Afghanistan. The Afghan fellows have moved out of state to another state where one of them had a cousin and they are thriving there. The Syrian family established a very good life here and has recently moved to another Indiana city where they had two groups of friends. They had all hoped to get together eventually. And it was a joy to work with all of these people, to get to know them personally, to get to know about their culture, and to help them in a wide variety of ways to establish a stable and productive life here. Currently, we are assisting 2 other families from Syria, doing this unofficially, but we have a refugee fund at church that we can dip into when particular needs come. We are focusing that on assistance with medical matters when that becomes necessary. And also recently, Brad directed us to a wonderful, skilled and very honest mechanic who was able to make repairs to the car of one of these families that enables their father to get to work every day. They did not have the extra money to cover that expense, and we were so happy that our refugee fund was able to help out in that way. Once again, as you all know, what matters so much in the end are the friendships that are formed. We have so many children we love dearly now, including a little fella that some of us take to and from his preschool class at university school every day. He is in the 3-year-old class and they are not allowed to ride the bus. So we have been so happy to be able to help out in that way because he desperately needed to learn English and to have friends to play with. His apartment complex didn't have any friends for him. His sister was happily off to kindergarten, and now he is happily off to his preschool class. So it has been a joy to work with so many of you in this room, Pete, Dave, and others. The community effort is heartwarming and very encouraging. And at this moment in time, we are particularly grateful to the lawyers who will be giving us advice and encouragement in the days ahead.
Hi, my name is Heather Oku, and I'm here representing the Bloomington Multi-Faith Alliance. I'm one of the current co-directors. We do not work specifically on immigrant and refugee issues. However, we do connect communities of faith across the entire Bloomington area. And so we have a number of things in mind in terms of how we might be useful in this coming few months. So if you do have concerns that you think you might like to reach out to other communities to work together, you just want more information as we become perhaps more aware of what our legal rights and limitations are, please do feel free to reach out to us. A couple of things on my mind. One is that religious freedom is protected under the First Amendment, and it seems to be one of the few freedoms that this state and this country still claims to respect. So we may be able to do some things that other people are not. Also, I do have some personal experience supporting refugee. My former husband came here from Ivory Coast in West Africa, so I do know some of the things that immigrants and refugees go through. I think that's about all I have to say, but I wanted to let you know that we're here and we care and we're happy to support you.
Like Sandy, I'm short and I don't have a big voice. I don't know whether you can hear me. Can you hear me? No? Okay, I'll try again. My name is Gracia Valiant. I have worked for a number of years in the Hispanic Latino community with Christy and Norma and Anna, and it's been my privilege and my delight. I was telling someone this morning who's worked with me that many of the families we worked with 20 years when they came now have children who are living here successfully. 2 of them are deputy sheriffs in the jail. Many of them are doctors, and one's an actor. So the work we do with these folks who are new to our community, confused and unsure, when they have our support, they can do amazing and wondrous things. So I'm happy to, I was one of the people who was concerned that the cold would keep you away, but it's a delight to see so many of you here. I am here today representing the Bloomington Friends meeting. Our meeting currently has offered to you a network of our faith-based lobbying and advocacy groups. The Friends Committee on National Legislation is a 100-year-old lobby advocacy group. They have a website that has weekly updates on actions and that you can take. They have a weekly teaching you how to be an advocate. You can join a lobbying group. And one thing, just as an aside, I know many of us despair with some of our senators, but they have had success with Senator Young. So it is worthwhile to work through them. They know him. And if you are on a lobby email or call with him through FCNL, you will likely get you will be heard a little bit better. So they also just recently posted a series of immigrant and deportation rights. I have handouts for you if you are interested in having that link. Of course, you'll have to put it in, but they have everything from that you may hear from Christy and Joe, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, from Exodus, who can help you with some of these things. But they do have an outline of about 6 or 7 websites that you can go to, and then you can also direct immigrants and refugees and asylum seekers. The other is the American Friends Service Committee, which has been working internationally since the First World War. They work here, they work internationally, and they have been in Gaza through the whole war, but they do a lot of work with refugees who are trying to get here. So again, they have Zoom calls. I went to an amazing Zoom call with them the other day with all kinds of actions that you can actually do and participate in with them. The other, locally, we've heard what we're facing with our own legislators. The Indiana, I always do this one wrong, Indiana Legislative Committee will again, they also offer advocacy links to actions they are taking and meetings that you can attend, how you can go to the State House with them to lobby and advocate. And then there are the Immigration Welcome Center in Indianapolis is not a Quaker group, but you can also go to them to look for support and ideas. And I had one more and I've forgotten it. I have a handout for anybody who's interested. There's one other thing that I would like to say. When we met with El Centro's group community meeting on January 8th, I asked about the community and churches becoming a sanctuary community and a sanctuary churches. His response was he doesn't know what's going to happen with sanctuary cities and churches, but in the past, churches in particular, ICE has not entered. That could change. Very likely could change, but it's worth the effort. I don't know what it takes, but it might be important. I also asked about the city. Well, his response was that the city can't stop ICE from coming in, but what it can do is say, as Carrie mentioned this morning, we won't cooperate. We won't put our police at your service. Our agents will not help you. So I would like to encourage churches and the city to take that action. It is an important way to show the community that we actually really care what might happen to them. So I have handouts if anybody's interested. Sorry, thank you.
I'm Craig Stewart. I am a member of St. Mark's United Methodist Church. I am among the leadership group of our refugee task force, which was formed in 2021, and we have been active working with both Exodus and Bloomington Refugee Support Network. Probably our biggest single accomplishment has been helping an extended family of Syrian refugees get settled in Bloomington after spending a decade in a refugee camp in Lebanon. As has been mentioned, the friendships really, really matter. We have helped them. They have helped us. One of the ways that they have helped us is in understanding what they have gone through. I believe that things would be different in this state and in this country if more people had more understanding and more empathy for the plight of the people who are just trying to get to a life where they have the same rights that we all expect. Martin Luther King said that he believed that the arc of the moral universe bends towards justice. No one ever said it does that quickly enough. No one ever said it does that monotonically. And I think the work that we have to do together will be especially important in the next 4 years, because we will be running against the tide and we will be doing work to show what it means to be a loving faith community and a loving community to all of the people who are seeking a better life coming to this area. Thank you.
I am Pastor John, and I come from First United Methodist Church, just down here. And our church has been very much involved in the journey of people who are coming to this country. Louder. Louder? Yeah, okay, let me come in here. Yeah, I have to, yeah, okay, right. This is for cats. All right, yeah. All right, yeah, I'm a preacher, I can shout. I was just trying to be nice, yeah. So I'm saying our church, First United Methodist Church, has been involved in this journey of welcoming people that are coming to this country. We believe that this is a country of immigrants. We believe that the first immigrant was Jesus Christ himself, who we welcomed in Africa, in Egypt. So we need to know that and never forget that, whatever the platitudes that you're going to hear. And I know that so many people, the Syrian families that our church started with welcoming, but our relationship with the Exodus has blossomed in a big way. When I came into our church, we were maybe about three three families and 3 people in the church that had come from Exodus, and now we are connected with about 80 people that are actually come. We specialize with the people coming from the Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, Rwanda. I think maybe they just happen to come because I speak Kiswahili, and now we can preach in Kiswahili in the church as well. We make sure that all our sermons are translated in Kiswahili. And not only have these people become just part of us, they are integrated into what we do. And we want to thank this community greatly. We know that Habitat for Humanity has now offered one of them to have a house. Let's give a big hand to the Habitat for Humanity, because it's only this connection that is going to happen with the community that these people are going to feel really welcomed in this place. We also want to thank many people that have come to speak on various things. That Clint, who is there? Clint, please, can you stand? Clint has been such on the front line of what we do with his family. They had to purchase a bus that takes people from their place and then donated that bus to the church. And if that bus is available, Exodus has used it now to go pick people from the airport when they come. So it's really available for that service to be able to happen. Other people that have come to what we call US 101, which is a course that we run during this in between the service, so that people can know. Some of these people are arriving. They have never seen the heating system that we have here. Simple things that you think are nothing. We know people that would have the cooking elements that they have in the house, but they never use them because they don't know how to use them. The fridge itself is quite amazing for some people that have been in the camp all their life. That's all they have grown. grown cooking on the floor. And then suddenly you are giving them all these first world gadgets to be able to apply. So US 101 was an invention that Clint started, and we know Joe Fossetto has been able to come. Christine Pop, I saw her speak earlier on, has also been able to come, and a number of people here have come and done that. And we are glad that we are able to collaborate. But there's just one thing that I want to read to you. On this day of the 20th Martin Luther King Day, when we are all, most of us are afraid of what is going to happen. And that is from Amos chapter 5, verses 21 to 24. And I'll read it in the Message. And I want you to replace it in modern language and see which curse words you can put in some of these places. And this is what God said. He said, I can't stand your religious meetings. I'm fed up with your conferences and conventions. I want nothing to do with your religion projects, your pretentious slogans and goals. I am sick and tired of your fundraising schemes, your public relations and image making. I have had all I can take of your nice ego music. When was the last time you sang to me? Do you know what I want? I want justice, oceans of it. I want fairness, rivers of it. That's what I want. That's all I want. I hope our words that we sound and talk all the time will be translated into justice and fairness for all. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Judy Farnsworth, and I am a Baha'i here in Bloomington. I will say straight out, I am not here at the behest of the institutions of our community, but sitting here, I want to make sure that I share our part in bringing all people together. So historically, in our community, historically, we have experienced refugees from Iran because of the persecutions there. We have dealt with the, you may have heard of the, oh, never mind, I'm gonna skip that. Anyway, bottom line, we have been drawn into relationship with the refugee community, the immigrant community, because a family, Congolese family, came to us through Tanzania after being in the camps for decades. And while our local community, we don't have a refugee program as such, we are not in a position to offer material aid as such, but what we do, and this is open to everyone, is we work to build capacity at the local level to build community based on spiritual principles and the understanding of the oneness of humanity. And this beautiful family that came to us through Tanzania, the Congolese family, actually hit the ground running to help build that capacity for building a new society. And through education of children, junior youth, and adults around spiritual principles, the teachings that have come from all the religions, that is in common with all the religions, and this justice, Anyway, I just wanted to say that, and the love that, this family that has come to us, it's almost more like, and this is personal, almost more like, it's not like we include them, it's more like they include us. The love is incredible, and thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Susan Kinzer, and I'm here with St. Thomas Lutheran. I am chairing the Refugee Welcoming Committee. Our church, about 3 years ago, welcomed a refugee family from Syria with Exodus Bloomington. That family is thriving in our community. The husband this year got his commercial truck driving license. The oldest daughter graduated with honors from North last year and is now at IU. She's hoping to become a medical student eventually. Their oldest son is currently working his way through the mechanic certification program and will be graduating hopefully as a licensed mechanic, I think next year. And then their younger children are also thriving in our schools, and they've become a very important part of our community. They are supporting themselves, they are supporting others. They have siblings. They waited for 10 years in a camp in Lebanon. They are a Syrian national family. They have siblings who are still in Lebanon, and they asked if we could help bring their siblings and their daughters to Bloomington. So we found out about a program which allows you to name the refugees that are waiting through an agency called Welcome Corps. So we applied in the fall to bring the sibling family who has already been waiting for 10 years in Lebanon. That application is pending, and we expect in the next 24 hours it will be shut down. So we are kind of at a point of pivoting and trying to figure out where we go next. But we do want to continue to support the family that we have here and any family that we can get at this point. So I'm hoping that the professionals in the back will have some advice, or we will figure out where to go in the next year to come.
Good morning. I'm Jenny Vessels. I'm a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bloomington and the Refugee Support Task Force that we conduct has 66 members on our distribution list, and these people show up. So for you who are in the audience, thank you for everything that you do. We have 3 primary pillars of activity. Education is one. We understand that people realize how hard it is in their families to get to America, but do not realize how hard it is once they are here. And so that's one of our focus areas. Our other 2 things that we do is we support families directly, both with financial aid and with transportation and helping kids get registered for school. We have made wonderful friends, family members, sons and daughters of these families, and find this effort really rewarding. And our 3rd pillar historically has been our tight connection with the Refugee Support Network and some fundraising through them. This year, we're going to increase our advocacy efforts. So for those of you who are on our distribution list, be prepared to get some calls to action. We'll include some links, some phone numbers, and some ways that you can help at the Indiana state level for these pending legislations. So thanks everybody for the efforts that you've already put in. Thanks.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Josefa Madrigal. I am the social worker for HealthNet Center. I've been there since actually this year, just recently, maybe 6 months now. I want to share the mission of HealthNet Center is to improve lives with compassionate healthcare and support services regardless of the ability to pay. So what I do where I am, I'm working with medical staff, which is doctors, nurse practitioners, nurses, medical assistants, social worker, and along with also we offer, our center offers enrollment specialists. So if we have a community member that needs assistance with applying for insurance, health insurance, we do have someone that does that. We also have a mobile health unit, so they're actually in Ellettsville area where they can be able to serve the population that is in that area if they're not able to make it to our center because of transportation. I enjoy working there just because I love working there just because of the people that I'm working with. They're very compassionate, the dedication, the service that we provide for our community is tremendous. I love that. I also, I'm bilingual, so I'm the bilingual advocate. I can speak Spanish and English. However, we do have a lot of patients who speak other languages. We do use the language line service to interpreter to be able to communicate with our patients, not just me as a social worker, but also our medical staff. They also do that. I smile because I love being able to communicate with someone who doesn't speak English or Spanish, but they're speaking, I'm able to, through that translator, through that interpreter, I'm able to speak with them on Somali. I have done Somali interpreting, Russian, Swahili, and beyond. So again, I smile because to me it's just new. Me knowing English and Spanish is what I have known and have always communicated with. So I'm here just to ensure that you know who we are. There's a lot of other clinics in Indianapolis, but Bloomington is like another chapter of it. As a social worker, I'm able to meet with our patients regardless of their background. And I'm also able to, in a way, relate. I am a daughter of immigrant parents, so being here and being able to serve our community brings me great joy and pride. So I feel blessed just being here in the position that I am. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Kyla Wargel. I work here at the library in the VITAL program, which stands for Volunteers in Tutoring Adult Learners. We have a program for adults who are learning basically anything below college level. So we do some basic adult literacy, but the majority of our students are people from other countries who are learning English for the first time. Right now, each week we have 15 classes that students can drop into, or some require a commitment of a couple of months of attending the class, like if it's a book club or something like that, that's building on itself. So we're always happy to welcome new students into the program. If you're supporting refugees or other immigrants, you can always refer them to the VITAL office. It's located upstairs behind the main desk, kind of where you pick up holds. And we're also always looking for more volunteers in our tutoring program. Right now we have about 60 tutor pairs that meet once a week, usually for an hour and a half. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can talk to me or contact the VITAL office for more about that. That's it.
Thank you. Wasn't this wonderful? Just spectacular. Someone mentioned Welcome Corps. I did want to mention that there's this new federal program that enables community members to sponsor refugees. They have to be UNHCR refugees. And it's separate from, Exodus and Catholic Charities and people like that, They did a wonderful job, but somehow this is a way to eliminate the financial commitment, so generally the community has to do more of the fundraising. Okay, so that's the one thing involved. We have 4, I think soon to be 5 of these programs going on in Bloomington right now. None are approved yet. Because this isn't a big financial drain on the government other than the administration staff, I'm hopeful that it will continue. So if you have any questions on that, you can Google Welcome Corps or come and see one of us. One other thing, learning English is a huge burden for these families, and VITAL is a wonderful program. Broadview is an adult learning center. One of our needs is drivers. So if you would have some time to once a week, a couple days a week, drive people. We have 9 Somali ladies that I have helped sign up for English to get the initial assessment class at Broadview, and they're going to want to go to class in person. I don't have a way to get them there. So if any of you are interested in getting on a schedule to help bring these beautiful Somali ladies to learn English, come and see me. So now we're going to take a 10-minute break. There's a bunch of neglected donuts over here. They need your attention, please, and some fruit stuff too. After this, we're going to have some tabling. We have 5 tables. El Centro, RSN, Exodus, and the immigration lawyers are over here. There's some tables in the middle as well. please go. This will be about a 15-minute thing. I will do some time checks. Lisa?
Pick 3 groups. You have 15 minutes for each of the
Right.
3 groups that you pick.
Right, we're going to have 3 intervals. So you can go to one, and then I will give some time checks, and then we'll have to transition to another group. Okay, so please 10 minutes, and then I will make an announcement and we'll start.